All right, welcome back to the Stay Up Late Show. We have the president of Swing Infusion with us right now. He is in charge of 7 different clubs that run all together throughout the summer. Please give a warm welcome to the one and only Sam Johnson. All right, so I have to ask. There's a story behind everything. And what is the story behind Swing Infusion?
A story. Well, I started dancing when I was 14 or 15. My brother and I did just about everything together. He got invited to go dancing in Ann Arbor at the U of M Swing Club, Swing Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay. And
I just tagged along, and I really liked it, but we ended up not really being able to afford the gas to drive all the way down there. The money it cost to get in, it was probably like $4, but we were really cheap high school students at the time. And we wanted a place that we felt comfortable bringing our friends that were, 15, 16, 17-year-old girls to dance and not have the older crowd that was there and make it more high school friendly.
Okay.
And so when a friend of ours threw a birthday party out in Farmington at the pavilion where the Farmington Swing Infusion Club meets, we did some dancing there, and we decided this is a place that we could start dancing on a regular basis. So the next week after that birthday party, which was on a Thursday night, we started the first Thursday night swing in Farmington, and that's how it started. I was obsessed with the idea that things should be reliable.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense.
Right, that you shouldn't have to check for what time things start, where is it going to be. I was tired of people canceling stuff on me, and I said, we need to make this every week, not skip it at all for any reason, and at the exact same time. And so that's how it started. Oh. And we started with probably 8 people, and it grew from there.
It grew into what it is today.
Yeah, it grew into what it is today.
That's pretty incredible.
So
now, when you first started it, you said it started in Farmington.
Yes. Now that was a year after I started dancing. So we had been dancing in Ann Arbor for a while.
Oh, okay. So you just started this new club. You've been dancing for about a year now. What were some of the problems that you faced along the way? Because I'm sure that there was a few problems that you had, getting it to be an actual thing that happened in a city, and Farmington's a pretty big city too. Mm-hmm. So, did you have any problems that occurred during the time?
My first traffic ticket.
Traffic ticket.
So a couple, probably about 5 weeks in. We started in June of 2007. The last weeks of June were our first couple events. And so then in the middle of July, the city of Farmington always has the Founders Festival. And they use the pavilion there, and so we had to move. And I didn't like moving. I like things being reliable, but we knew there was another pavilion nearby in Shiawassee Park, which is only a few miles down the road. But it was getting dark, and I pulled my car up to the pavilion, and we used the lights from my car to light it up, and there was power there, so we plugged in the guitar amp I used at the time, and we danced. The neighbors ended up calling the cops on us, and because that part closes a lot earlier than the pavilion, so we didn't know that. When the cop showed up, my car was parked right next to the pavilion, and I did not notice that there was a no motorized vehicle sign that was about 3 feet from the front of my car. And I got a ticket. I believe it was under the category of traffic signal violation. For that, 2 points on my license, $127, I believe it was.
Oh.
And
this was back in 2007 when $127 was, a lot of money back then. So
it may have been a little different. But yeah, the big thing is that I was 17.
Right.
So it was It was a significant amount of money. Actually, no, I was 16 when I got that ticket. So
Oh, 16.
I was 16. I was just before I turned 17, and those points stayed with me for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I made that mistake, which I haven't made since then. So
It's, always good. A wise man learns from his mistakes. So
yeah, a wiser man learns from the mistakes of others.
that's true. That's
So.
very true.
But no, so I mean, we've had that was my first encounter with the cops. Since then, we've had a few, but usually we have city officials we've talked to. Usually we have police officers that really like what we're doing. We tell them what we're doing and why, and that really goes a long ways. I mean,
Okay, I'm
they
sure it does,
really
yeah.
like that we're doing something for the kids in the community. Sometimes they're like, turn the music down, but we can do.
Now, when you first started Swing, what was your main goal? Was it just to be a place to hang out with friends, or did you want to try and get something to where, you could have always that one victory in your week and look forward to? Like, what was one of your main goals when you started Swing?
My goals have changed, back and forth
Mhm.
as far as what's most important. There have been a lot of important things throughout the years, but when I started, it was to have a place to go. It was to have a place to go, a place to have fun, and at that point, I didn't realize the great effect that it had, that dancing and the form of dancing that we were teaching had on people. As it developed, I learned what effect it had on people. I had a girl, she was probably like 14, write me a message and just say, this is the thing I look forward to every week. This is what gets me through every week. And that was just surprising. I didn't realize that, people had, and it was a really nice written letter. And so that just surprised me, that people really look forward to it so much. I mean, I did, but getting the letter was really cool. I wonder if I have that saved somewhere. But I've gotten a few letters since then that, just different encouragement, telling me that it's been a cool thing in their life. And so doing that for other people. And then what I realized was that these girls that had very little self-confidence ended up getting more confidence. They realized that when guys asked them to dance, that at some level they were desirable,
Right.
And that's a really cool thing that, sometimes young girls don't feel attractive.
Through texting and Facebook messaging, everything, it's kind of
Right.
hard to, yeah.
Right.
So that's really cool. That's really cool.
And then the guys learn to respect the girls and to take a leadership role. And it's really cool. I don't know if you've seen Take the Lead.
Is that a movie?
The movie.
No, I haven't.
It's a good one. You should see it. In the movie, it's Antonio Banderas, and he's talking to a parent-teacher conference at, I believe it's a New York school, where he is teaching a ballroom dance class to, I believe it's detention, to the detention
Oh, okay.
kids. And he's talking to the parent-teacher conference, or is it a parent-teacher or something like that.
Okay.
Anyhow, he says, I want to quote him right, basically that if a girl is treated with respect, how likely is she to let some idiot knock her up? I believe those are his
Okay,
words.
cool.
And if your sons learn to touch a girl with respect, how will they treat women throughout their lives? And
that's kind of the message that Swing Infusion performs.
no, but for real, like that when I saw that, and that was years ago when I saw that, that totally described what I was starting to realize we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have our mission statement the way it is. I don't know our legal mission statement at this point.
Right.
It got reworked by our lawyer to be, have the proper wording for all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's to create an environment for young adults. I'm not sure if we say youth or young adults,
Mm-hmm.
but youth to go on a weekly basis. We want it to be reliable, so we say on a weekly basis. And a place where they can learn to dance and be in an environment without drugs, sex, and alcohol,
Right.
and violence. And it's about giving kids something to look forward to.
Right.
So
Get off in front of the computer or the Xbox or whatever, and you go out and you dance.
and you build relationships.
Right, exactly.
It's not just about dancing. Dancing is huge, but it's also about just hanging out and building relationships, because so much time is spent on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So many relationships are not person to person. So many electronic relationships these days. People are losing their personal skills.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really sad, but it's really important for these kids to be in a social place and to have good social interactions, and that's what we try to create.
That's pretty amazing. Now, what do you say to people that are like, oh, swing dancing, that's a girly thing, and what do you say to people like that?
Well, that's the guys, because the girls in general think
Right.
it's cool. You tell them girls are there.
Okay.
Usually that works. And quite often they come like once, twice, 3 times, maybe 5 or 10 times. But they come not dancing at all, not intending to dance, but there are pretty girls there.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets guys. So I mean, it works out. Girls like dancing, guys like girls, so you end up with people.
That works.
So it works, and then the guys show up because the girls are there. Then the guys realize, eventually, it takes longer for some than others, that girls really like dancing, and guys that dance. So they end up dancing because the girls beg them, or they just realize
Right.
that all the girls here think the guy that dances over there is cool. I'm not sure what the logic is, but
Right.
they end up dancing.
Gotcha. When I first started coming to swing dance, I was 16, and my friend kept nagging me to go because she knew that I would just fall in love with the whole thing. And I
Okay.
was like, just kept on thinking of an excuse after an excuse why I shouldn't go. And so she created a Facebook page that's, I don't know if it was a Facebook page or if she just got everyone to do it, but she told everyone to remove me as a friend on Facebook. That way I would go. And so
That's a strange.
it is a very
way.
strange way. She was just trying to basically just clown around and everything, but it was because of that I actually got to go.
So
because
that worked.
It worked. It was funny because that week when she did it, it was the day after, and I was supposed to go to swing dance that day. And I was like, oh, I really don't feel like going. Let me just message my buddy real fast on Facebook and tell him that I'm not going to be able to make it. Oh, wait, I can't do that because I'm not friends with him. And I was like,
Nice.
okay, well, let me just call him real fast. Oh, wait, I can't do that because his cell phone doesn't work? And so I just could not get a hold of my friend to tell him to not pick me up. And when they got to my house, all my buddies and friends were there, and I kind of joke. I said they lured me in the car because they were playing AC/DC. And so I went in there, and as soon as I got in there, they stopped
You have
playing
good
it,
friends,
but,
by the way,
apparently,
to
yeah.
do all this for you.
It was pretty funny.
I have never heard a story where somebody was pushing so hard, had other people, hop in so much and played AC/DC. But yeah, it's a good story.
Yeah. And I just figured I'd share that with you. And have you heard many stories like that?
I mean,
Like
I've
people nagging to go?
heard of a lot of people, getting nagged to go quite a bit.
Mhm.
Usually, girls trying to get guys to go, and it's funny that it takes so long with the girl, telling the guy, "Come on," but
Right.
some guys are a little more stubborn than others.
That's
so.
true. Have you ever just looked back and just looked at everything that you did and been like, I helped create this, and
Mhm.
you were actually the main source of the whole thing. So it's like, you look at all these people's friendships, and I know a lot of my friends have met their girlfriend or boyfriend at swing dance, and they have a really nice relationship. It's lasted a long time, and I don't know. Do you ever just look back and just be like, thank you so much, Lord, for letting me be able to do this?
Yeah,
and
I mean, it's
everything?
been a blessing. It's not something I planned. It's something that has definitely been a blessing, and something that I definitely think God has led me to. It's not something I planned, and when I start to plan things, they don't quite work out right. But coolest thing, I thought of it when you mentioned boyfriends and girlfriends that have come about because and good relationships. I DJ'd a wedding this summer, and I did not only the reception, but I did audio for the ceremony. Two people that met at Swing in Farmington. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that that was where they met until I was doing audio for their ceremony.
Really?
In their vows, they mentioned the first time they saw each other at Swing in Farmington. And I'm sitting back there, I'm like, no way, no
That
way.
is something
that
else.
not only did they meet there, but I'm the guy doing the audio like right now, and it was a really cool thing. And I expect more of that. Now that it's happened, I realize that is happening. And obviously, we're the places where guys meet girls, relationships will start, and you'll be part of it. But it was just really cool seeing that. And I had another friend that proposed at Swing in Farmington. Farmington is where a lot of this has happened because it's an older crowd, and it's been around for the longest.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
Now I noticed you're wearing a Dance Project T-shirt. What is the Dance Project? I understand that that's separate from Swing Fusion.
Yeah, it's separate from Swing Fusion. The Dance Project started, I believe it was in 2009, and it's a great group.
Is that something that sparked because of Swing Fusion?
No, it was completely separate. Started by Jamie Nicholson, and she had gone. I believe she had gone to her daughter's freshman homecoming dance and saw what was going on in the public school dances.
Right.
And all the bump and grind and just the environment that was there. And she decided she wanted to do something about it. And the Dance Project, which I work with quite a lot, their goal is to promote positive dancing. It's change the culture by promoting positive dancing. And so that's their mission, and that's what they do. Their focus is more on community dances, so bigger dances than Swing Fusion's weekly dances.
Okay.
And to go into the schools. Trying to get into the schools and have lessons, try to get into the school dances and have lessons, try to get better DJs into the school dances that play cleaner music and all that sort of stuff.
Very cool.
So that's what the Dance Project is about. We work together quite a lot. We've sponsored some dances, co-sponsored dances, and I work with them. I was on the board for a while, and so yeah, we work pretty tightly with them to the point that a lot of people confuse a lot of our work.
Oh, okay.
So some people will call some of the Swing Fusion clubs Dance Project stuff. Some people will call the Dance Project dances Swing Fusion dances. People don't really know what's what, especially in the Brighton area, because there's so much work done by both.
Right.
That's pretty similar in the mission, and
Right.
it's a lot of the same kids for
Yeah.
the events. So yeah,
That's true. That's really cool. I gotta ask you, what were you doing before? Because you're a DJ now for the Dance Project, and you do other. You're like pretty much self-employed.
yeah,
right?
I'm self-employed DJ. That's most of what I do: event planning, event hosting. I've started hosting some other events outside of dance and stuff. But what was your question?
Well, that's kind of funny because this sounds like something that should be on Saturday Night Live. Actually, you're a DJ. You started this really big what is it, club, and I just kind of thought it was funny what you were doing before you started this, and a little bit while you were in Swing Fusion. What was your job?
What was
before
my
that?
main job?
Yes.
I cleaned aquariums.
See, to me, that's just awesome.
A random job. I was in a desperate situation. This was pretty quickly after I got my ticket.
Oh, okay.
It was at Swing in Farmington, probably the second, maybe the first month of Swing, maybe the second. And I was pretty close to broke. My car broke down.
Yeah.
I had obviously just gotten that ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in pretty poor financial situation, so I talked to one of my really good friends at the time, and she just complaining about how I didn't know what I was going to do for money. And she said, my dad is looking for workers, and you should give him a call. So she gave me your dad's number, and I gave him a call. I got the job pretty quickly, and I worked for him for about 5 years, and from time to time I still work for him. And I think he leaves me on payroll and never removes me, because he always calls me up when he needs something big done, or he needs extra work for some reason, or I call him up when I need an extra paycheck. So I got a great relationship there.
That's pretty cool.
Anyhow, yeah, cleaning aquariums for 5 years was an interesting job.
Did you ever have like an aquarium that was like so big you had to get your goggles and flippers on and like scuba tank and just dive in and everything?
I didn't. However, there's a 800-gallon shark tank in
Really?
Detroit that is in a person's home. And that size of tank, we usually just send a really long vacuum tube to the bottom of the tank and suck everything out. And you reach in and you get your arm wet pretty far, but you can't reach the bottom of an 800-gallon tank.
Right.
And we have a claw that we can reach in and grab another 3 feet deeper.
Oh, okay.
For a lot of it. But it had been about 10 years, maybe 15 years since everything had been pulled out of this tank.
Oh, really?
We usually just do a water change. You get
Right.
fresh water, clean out the filter, suck out whatever junk we can, especially in a tank that big. But it just needed a bigger cleaning. We were trying to take all the rocks out, and there were massive rocks in this tank, and trying to do it with the claw just wasn't working. And so my boss he asked the lady who lives there, he's like, is it okay if I hop in your tank? And she's like, whatever you need to do. So
Almost sounds like a cheesy pickup line.
No, I mean, it was, she left the room. He stripped down to his boxers and hopped in the tank.
Really?
Yep.
And I'm assuming the sharks were not present at the time.
Yeah, no, they were.
Oh, they
we
were?
cleaned the
Oh.
tank with the sharks in the tank. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. So they stay.
Not in my case. I think it would be
Yeah.
the exact opposite for me.
No, they're not really aggressive. You put your hand in the tank, you get close to them, they book it to the other side. So
Really? Oh, okay.
There's no worries, but yeah, that was the craziest thing I saw my boss ever do.
That's
So.
pretty interesting. And if someone wants to get a hold of you for DJing, what's the best way to do that?
I can be emailed, Facebook. Facebook is just a great way to communicate. I use Facebook professionally quite a lot, so you can just look me up, Sam Johnson, on Facebook. I do a lot over the phone. My email, so DJ_SamJ, and that's actually the underscore on the keyboard, not underscore written out, which I've had people send emails to DJ underscore. They type out the word underscore, SamJ.
So it's
actually the underscore SamJ at yahoo.com.
Okay.
So
cool.
that's my email, and I work through that as well. But Facebook's easiest.
Okay.
People to find me.
And then you have, and then the club's website is swinginfusion.com.
Yes.
Swing
Which we're hoping to update. It's been one of those things that we got up because we knew we needed a website, but we don't have a web guy at all.
Okay.
So we just update, once a month, if that. We update with new information, and
That's got all
we're
the
looking
times
to
and
get
location
a
and
web
everything.
guy here soon, and that has the important information. But if you want up to date information, people are just on Facebook all the time. So
Okay.
you
So
can
there-
ask
each club has
questions,
their
and
own-
Each club has their own
Okay.
Facebook, and those can be found if you go and search for the groups on Facebook. You type in Swing Infusion, then you put in parentheses what city you're looking for.
Okay.
So in Brighton, it's parentheses Brighton.
Swing
or
Infusion,
Farmington.
parentheses, Brighton. So.
Right.
Okay.
Brighton, close parentheses. And then the main page for all the clubs, which is where we send out information for all the big dances and A lot of other swing organizations will post events there. That is Swing Infusion, and then in parentheses its main page. So people can find information there as well.
Sounds good.
About the club as a whole.
Wow. So everything is covered, man.
Yeah, everything's
got
covered.
this.
Facebook is just really the main way of communication these days. So.
Okay. And you use Facebook professionally, so
Yes.
there's no. I'm sure you never have texted LOL on Facebook. I mean,
No,
I'm
joking.
cool.
Why would I do that?
All right, Sam Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. You can check out the website, swinginfusion.com. If you need a DJ or anything, this is your man for that. Sam, thank you so much for coming on the
Thanks for
show.
having me.
You have a great day. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much. Good night.